Okay, so now we are on this part of our session preparing for in-betweening. Okay, so we need to organize first our cleanup file so that it will be ready for our in-betweening. So here, by now, you know, we have already finished cleaning up, right? So as you can see, all of my keyframes are already here. If I will play, here is the playback button in our timeline or layer panel area. When you press that, as you can see, my cleanup drawing is already showing some animation. Yes. But keep in mind, these are cleanup frames. So we have not yet placed the in-betweens. Okay. But before we do so, we need to organize the scene itself so that if something happens along the way or along the process, you can come back or go back to a file wherein you can still work with your cleanups. Okay? So the first thing to do is, since this is a cleanup file, I'll save it, right? Then I will do a save as file. I'll do a save as. And I will go to the same folder where my chosen sketches are or key drawings are. So I'll go inside here. Key drawings 00, that's my project folder. I'll open that. And from there, I will see the cleanup folder file. Alright? But I will not enter the cleanup folder file. I will save it inside along here. Right? So I will just copy the name of this. Let me just copy that name. And I will paste it here. And instead of having it clean ups, I will name it, of course, in betweens. So now I will have a safe file that is cleaned up, and then I will have a separate file that will be having the in-betweens. Okay, so that is the first step. You now have an in-between. So this file, it has the cleanups, but we will be working on in-betweens here. So anytime I need to go back to the cleanup, I have a backup there. Now, let's go here. Another. Since that we are going to place the in-betweens, right? We already know the keyframe numbers. This is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So that means we are required to put one in-betweens in all of this. So that means I will work on frame number 2, frame number 4. But, as you can see, the exposures, okay? So, exposure means expose what you are seeing, you know? The exposures here, as you can see, there is a keyframe and then there is a gray box there. That means it's an exposure. It means there is also something on the frame, but it is not a keyframe, right? It's not a keyframe. Unlike here, you have a dot, that's a keyframe. Here, it is just an exposure. Exposure usually are the extension or the extended, the extended exposure or the extended screen time of your drawing, right? Because we have indicated, again, I'll just repeat, keyframe number 1, that's the position. Then it is extended, since we have not yet placed any in between, to the frame number 2. So I'm just calling it frame number 2. It's not a keyframe like number 1. It's just an extended exposure. And then going to keyframe number 3, the position changes because it is a keyframe. Then again, the exposure is extended up to up to frame number 4. And so on. So it is repeated. So now we need to remove those extended exposures. We need to remove them. Okay? Simply, to remove them, you just right click and choose here in the exposure options, you will choose clear the exposure. This will clear or remove that extended exposure from your keyframes. There. So now I can only see keyframe number 1 when the track needle is on that frame. See? So it vanishes. Same case with frame number 4. Right click and I'll do another clear exposure. So let us just repeat this, clear our exposures so that I will repeat this so that the file is going to be ready for in-betweening. So that means from these cleared exposure, I will be placing the in-betweens. So now if I will play the animation, play it, there. So it is like strobing. Oops, let me clean this up. Later on, I will also do this in my clean up file. Saving that. Okay, so now here, there. So if I play it again, okay. By the way, whenever you play your animation, if the track needle is continuously going up to frame number 60, sorry, if I mentioned this late, you can set the stop here. So it says here, it can start at frame 1, yes, when it plays, and you can set the stop, let's say, to frame number 15, since that is my last keyframe. Okay, so you can do so. Alright, there. Now, I will be saving this. Let me just keep my node view organized. There. So now I only have one drawing layer. Yeah. I can even change that name so that it will be clear. I can click this. That's our properties button. And I can name that in between. So in the other file, I'll be naming this cleanups. So now I can enter and then I can just press close and it is updated. So now I won't be lost with my filing. Okay, so now we are ready for an in-between.